IDigBest, which we've invented the 3DX roller screed. So I'd like to explain a little bit about that to you. The roller screed is a very new way of grading that really, remarkably, I don't know, has not been thought of yet. So as what we did, we had to figure out how to make it so that you could have a dozer, which you can see here. You could have a level best where it's very stable and cutting edges. We also needed a roller to set our grade, our materials. So what we did here is we developed a machine. We actually developed them for excavators, and they ended up working on skid steers very, very well. When you go from the distance from the pin here that works down to the dozer system, or down to a level best system, we're under 2 feet of extension out. A dozer system's a little bit over 4 feet, and the level best system is about a little over 8 feet actually. It's all about stability. Level best is one of the first ones that came into that, and they put the wheels way out front. You see the Bobcat road graders they put on the front too. Great for driving around, carrying some material, but the fact of the matter is you can't use it anywhere. It's very cumbersome. Dozers, on the other hand, been around for a long time, but when you put them on something this powerful as a skid steer, when they catch in the ground, you might as well hope you have your safety belt on. They can't hold grade and correct quick enough. You've got to slow way down. Because you've got this teeter-totter way out front here. Level best solves that with their crazy wheels out front. It holds a plane between. Dozers are trying and trying. So our deal is we need to figure out how to build a dozer wider, leaner, meaner, and stronger, and 100 times more stable. So that's what we did. Our system uses a unique pair of rollers, patent pending here, that tip back and forth. So you have a center pin for your dozer. So it runs like a dozer. It tilts back and forth like a dozer system does. But you can put box sides on, or you can put or box sides to the back, front. It's a double blade, kind of how the level best does. So you can grade forward or backwards, unlike a dozer where you can drag down your lines forward. It's very heavy duty. So when you're set up for working around pipes and things like that, a dozer's very tall. It's hard to see the pipes, what you're cutting into. A dozer's a dozer. But when you're working around, you want to see with the closeness of the 3DX and the position of it and the width, the extra 2 feet wider, you can see right through here from the cab, right down to what you're doing very clearly, very stably. So the key to this system, though, is when you set those rollers on the ground, you can lift this front tire off the ground back, have tracks, and you don't need tracks even. Actually, you can compact and place a lot of material better with wheels just because of the roll compaction. Now, dry sands and things like that, you'll want to use a track machine. But track machines cost a lot more money to run than tire machines and have a lot less capabilities when it comes to turning and things. So the IDigBest system works also to where when you hook it up to your machine, the 2 cylinders that tilt go right to your auxiliary, and we use roll and dump to control the cutting edge height. So as we tilt forward, this cutting edge goes down. We tilt backwards, this cutting edge goes down. So they're always based on these tilt rollers. And like I said, you can tilt right or left. But when you buy this system, you don't have to buy valves like these guys have. They've got to add valves because all their functions are done with the auxiliary. The only thing we use auxiliary for is to run your tilt, which is totally commonsensible. We convert your raise and lower. You can still raise and lower the blade normally, like you would on a dozer, but you can dump and curl to set your elevation exactly. So once you set your elevation to the blade level, we are always rolling on the ground that we've graded, either direction. So when you're on a level best and you hit a bump, it lifts the machine up. Now they've got a lot of correction in there, but it still lifts the machine up. It has to correct. When you're running a dozer system, the teeter-totter from here is so far that if you have a dip here, that dip re-echo. And the only way you can get it to catch up is you got to slow way down, get it going, and hope you don't catch any hard material. Real soft material, dozers are okay for grading. But once you start getting into anything harder, you really can't do much with it. But it is a dozer. It has its place. The other problem with dozers and graders like level best is all the big material, if you got bigger rocks and stuff, all come up. And you get all these piles of big rocks you're pushing around you got to get rid of. And you're leaving loose material. The 3DX system rolls it all in. So anything that goes under the blade is compressed into grade. The weight of the 3DX weighs as much as the level best, believe it or not, within like 50 pounds. So then that 50 pounds, you're rolling, and you can put as much weight on here. You can actually lift the front of the machine, put more weight, or you can add weight to it to roll. We're actually looking at vibrators right now to put on there also. So every time you go, if you got your material within a couple, 3 inches, you put this system on, you start rolling. Everywhere you roll, you're cutting grade. And you're rolling on what you just cut to grade. So correction, compared to running over bumps here, is almost zero. The correction's so simple for the computer that it allows you to speed up to full speed. You can put these things in high range. And once you set that down that roller and you tilt that to grade and you start getting on grade, it starts leveling out the platform, you just gun it because you're going to go like crazy. Because you cannot cut below grade. It is impossible going forward to cut below grade at full speed once you're on grade. It's not like a dozer. I mean, the level best is that way. You know, you set it on the wheels, you get boom, you can just run like crazy. But a dozer, you start picking up some speed and you catch on some good ground, you're either going to fly out of the cab or you're going to do something. It's going to hurt. So the system here, like I said, works both directions. It's very heavy duty. It's very 3D. It takes no valve, so you can get the normal system and put an indicator on here. Can't do it with level best. You can try to do it with a dozer, but the correction is going to kill you. So in the old days, we had dozers. We put indicate. That's a receiver where you indicate, tells you up or down. But the dozer moves so much to correct, and then after you got to correct the hole you built, you start your whoop-de-doos, we call them. So you slow way down, you can do it. With the 3DX, it's entirely different. Once you set on, you start getting plane, forward or backwards, you can have your little visual indicator, and you as an operator can correct it very easy. You'll see us doing a lot of videos. So you can just put your little laser, grade pull laser rod on there, listen to it beep, and you can cut beautiful grade. If you look at videos, it takes nothing. It's so simple of correction because you're rolling on the ground that's already cut. But when you put a laser system on, you can put a single mass and use a tilt sensor, or you can put dual mass. We also have it though so that you can put this on 3-point hitches and tractors. We'll get into that a little more later, but you pull this center pin out, these 2 cylinders move to 2 mass. You can see the holes right there. They hook to the outside edge, so now instead of being a tilt in the center, it's vertical up and down, 1 mass here, 1 mass here, like the level best system. So if you want to hook a 3-point hitch to this, we have we call these hitch plates. The green part this is the skid steer hitch plate. We have a pull behind hitch plate. We have a 3-point hitch plate, and we make them fit all machines. You can fit the front of backhoes. You can fit the front of a lot of tractors that you wouldn't think you could even use anymore. And they also fit excavators. This was designed for an excavator for that purpose. So you can put it on your minis or bigger. I mean, this is a strong, it's got a 2-inch axle in it to give you an idea how much power you can put on this thing. But in a nutshell, our cost, because of valving and strength and size, is much better. We roll and compact all the material you have. You can watch us on driveways. We're doing it, and the big rocks come up, and they just roll right in. So you get rid of all that trash. You get to use all the material. You don't have all the problems. We have forward and reverse grading. We have very stable, non-bounce. You can raise up and down and grade like a dozer. You can tilt, roll back when you do your fine grading. We have tilt. So it works out very well compared to the others, but it's so stable. It's a far-fetched, a better way to grade. And this one machine you can buy with all the hitches and fit all your machines. Every machine you have. You can pull it behind your pickup truck if you want, and you can grade perfect. We also make a 4/6 size, so this is 8-foot base. And then we have 1-foot dozer tips we put on there, super heavy duty. I mean, you can run into concrete as hard as you can right there in that corner, and it's just going to stop you dead or spin you around in a circle. Very, very, very strong. All 1/2-inch material, all AR. But you can put it on your 3-point hitch and pull it behind your tractor. If you're doing fine grading, you can pull it behind with a regular hitch behind it. You can hook it to the front of any tractor you have. We adapt all machines. And you can put on an excavator in great areas and walk with it when it's tight. So it's the way of the future. We can give you all the different valve sets. We actually make a valve that fits in your pilot hydraulics. It's a little valve. It's a third the cost of the valves you've got to buy for these guys. So they're in the about $5,000 range for their kit. We're in about the $2,000 range. Because we use the valves, we use the system that's already in the machine. We use the cylinders here for elevation, roll and dump. We control those. We use tilt off your auxiliary, so you're not stealing more than one function per valve. So we put valves in line that work very well with that. Anyways, it's IDigBest.com or IDigBest.com. We'll take you out to the website. You can see the videos. You can give us a call at 317-210-0220. Thank you. Have a great day.